Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Raynham Board of Selectmen. This is Tuesday, April 30th. The minutes, gentlemen.
Motion to accept as printed.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have no department heads here this evening as yet, and no committees. We don't have any appointments this evening either. We don't have any public hearings, but we do have to set two up, so if we want to do that, we can. We need a public hearing for the application to sell junk and old metals from Deborah Hines.
Do we have a date? Randy, 2 weeks?
Randy, a date? 2 weeks?
Yeah, motion to that effect in 2 weeks at 7:05.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a second one for a fortune teller's license to Bissy Mitchell.
Motion for 2 weeks out at 7:10.
You only going to give them 5 minutes for their first hearing? Yeah, almighty, that's... All in
Second-
favor?
Second the motion, yeah.
Okay, we can have those back again. New business. We have the special town meeting warrant, which needs, everybody, I'm sure, had it.
Motion to accept as printed.
Yeah, second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Takes care of that. That will have to get signed afterwards. Is Paula here, do you think? Yeah, why don't you? And in the meantime, I will. We recently had interviews for our position for the treasurer collector, and we have two of the applicants here. I'd like to introduce you to them, and you can please feel free to ask them any questions that you would like. Hi, Paula.
Hi, how are you?
I kind of like just rushed you right in here and
That's all right.
jumped you down. I'd like to welcome you to our selectmen's meeting. Would you please go by the podium so that the other gentleman can hear you? This is Paula Lynette, and she has applied for the position, so feel free, gentlemen.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Hi, Paula, how are you?
Good, how are you doing?
Good, thanks. I know we know each other from past interactions, so I don't really have to talk about your resume so much. But I guess the lone question I have for you is, why are you looking to leave Bridgewater?
There's two main reasons, really. One is career development. Actually, our staff size is the same as Raynham. So by having a better staffed office, I could spend more time being a full-time treasurer collector and spending less time doing it clerical or assistant work. Certainly, any manager's got to be ready to roll up your sleeves and dig in and help out during the really busy times, but I want to spend more time being treasure collector and focusing on that aspect.
Thank you. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
My question would be, what do you consider the primary responsibilities or priorities as you assuming you had this position?
Well, certainly the safety and the liquidity of the money, and then obviously focusing on the yield to maximize value to the taxpayers is fundamentally, I think, the role of anyone working for the town government. I believe very strongly in that, not only as a treasurer collector, as a department head, but also as a unit, working with other department heads and the town administrator and the Board of Selectmen, other boards and committees to reach an overall goal of maximizing value for the taxpayer.
That's all?
Comfortable, yeah.
Good.
I've seen a
I've
resume.
already asked you a bazillion questions, so...
Did I get them all right?
You did pretty good. I checked you all off. And I do thank you, though. Is there anything you'd like to ask the board?
I'd be curious to know what your next primary goal would be for whoever is chosen.
Well, I would start off by saying that I'd like to see, some continuity, some overlapping, so that there was a seamless, change of guard, so to speak, that you met and were comfortable with the other people that you'd be interacting with, because I think that what we look for most in this town is a team kind of approach. So I think the team approach is critical from our point of view, and I would hope that it would be critical from your point of view.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the only way you're going to be able to maximize value that way, being able to work with each other and pick up the slack if somebody's falling behind or has a extra heavy workload that week. So the volume of work can obviously vary with tax due dates and whatnot. So
My colleague did a fine job explaining the desires of this board. So,
Good. That's great.
Very good. I thank you so much for coming in tonight.
thank you.
thanks, Paul.
We
Thank you,
certainly
Paul.
will give you a call.
Very good. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
This,
Randy is our other applicant here?
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, Diane.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again.
Gentlemen, this is Diane Warren, and she was an applicant for, the board is going to probably ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Hi, Diane, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. You?
Good, thanks. I had done a little previous research on you, and I understand that your past position with Blackstone was elected, and
Yes.
unfortunately, you came up one vote short.
Yeah.
What were the dynamics of that race? Because the local media didn't really get into it.
It was just someone who came back from the Air Force. He was in there for 23 years. His father had his business in Blackstone. He came back, been in Blackstone for 2 years, and just decided he just wanted to run, and that's how it went.
There were
I did
no-
a recount. I did a recount, and, it is what it was 1 point. It was
Yeah.
1 vote, and
Yeah, I mean, what I'm getting at is to be, frank with you. Those treasurer collector used to be elected here as well as town clerk, and those were 2 positions that you never saw any change in.
Right.
Other positions incumbents had lost, and pretty much statewide, these are positions you don't see the incumbents typically losing.
lose, right.
And so I'm just trying to get to, and again, I'm being frank with you. Is there any? Was
Agenda?
there any?
Was
what's
there
that?
an agenda, or is that
Or a
what you're
compelling
asking?
issue where there,
I think the compelling issue is, I think all of Blackstone, some of the people were looking for changes, even with the selectmen, because if you look, some of the selectmen that came in are new ones
Yeah.
also. I did my job, and I tried to stay out of politics as much as I could, so it is what it is. I'm being as honest as I can.
Yeah.
We ran a race, and he just, the politics.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, his father has a business. I'm sure that influenced a lot of the people,
Yeah.
for him to get the votes. And then people also laid back. I was there for 12 years.
yeah.
If you look at the percentages of people that came out to vote, I think it was only maybe 15% of the people, because they laid back. Oh, she'll get in. She always gets in every year, no problem. And that's where the 1 vote just, you lose.
No,
you
I
know?
understand. In terms of independent audits, did your community conduct those? And if so, on what basis? Yearly, biennial?
Yearly. We always had it yearly.
And in your management letters, any issues, any cause for concerns?
There were issues on both sides with the town accountant and the collector treasurer. When I got there in 2001, there was no reconciliation going back in the 60s. We have gotten, by the time I left, we were reconciling. We had finally worked with an auditor and got the reconciliation going. But other than that, it was just minor things between the accountant and assessors, and every little department had something.
Okay, my final question for you, you are transitioning from an elected position to an appointed position, and so at the end of the day, the responsibilities lie with this board.
Mm-hmm.
Can you talk about the dynamic you had with the selectmen in Blackstone? And
I had, I'm
what's that?
sorry. Go
And
ahead.
what you believe your relationship should be with this board, who will be your supervisors?
It should be a good relationship. I will do my job. I try to follow, and I do follow the Mass General laws as much as I can. But I know the difference between elected and appointed. I've been elected for 12 years. It's basically you answer to the people, not to the board. I think I'm going to exactly enjoy answering to the board and having them be my boss. It helps a lot because you got somebody else to bounce something off of, working with the town administrator. In Blackstone, I worked with the assessors, I worked with the town accountant so much so that I know her job, because they changed the accountant so many times that I had to learn that part of her job so I could reconcile while she was gone. I worked very well with the town clerk, I worked very well with the Board of Health. We were like one good, tight-knit family. So I miss them.
Thank you, Diane. That's all I have, Madam Chair.
I think you've, I'll go the other way. I think you've covered all the points that I would have asked.
He out-questioned you.
Yeah, well, that's fine. There's a lot of good information. So your first priorities with us, Diane, would be, how do you see integrating into this assignment here? What would your focus be?
My focus would be, I would hope to meet with the collector-treasurer that's leaving.
Yep.
And ask her exactly what she's done in her office, how she's run it, to show me the procedure. I'm not to change anything. If it works, leave it alone, move on. I would like to know what her focus is on what she wants to see more of what's to change in that office, and kind of, she would know more, and that's who I would go by, the collector-treasurer that's leaving, for her to point me and say, this is what you need to focus on, this is what works well, and move from there.
Good.
I wouldn't make any decisions on changing anything without talking to the town administrator or with the board, but I would love to talk to the collector-treasurer.
Good. Thank you, Diane. That's
it?
great. Good response.
Well, it was
Yep.
nice meeting you, and
You too.
thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Diane.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have any old business? Town administrator, would you like to give your report, Randy, now, before we go into?
I think everyone knows the annual town meeting now is Monday, May 20th, at the middle school. Pre-town meeting is Tuesday, May 14th, 7 p.m. here at Town Hall. Warrants should be arriving shortly and will be mailed out to our residents by Friday, May 10th. And we covered the special town meeting warrant already. We covered the collector-treasurer. On the Veterans Memorial, we want to have everybody purchase their bricks, and tomorrow is the deadline. We might extend it for a day or two at the most till the end of the week, but that will be it. Work will commence, and the granite piece, the large granite piece, arrived today, and we hope to be done by sometime in June. And Madam Chair signed the paperwork to receive reimbursements from FEMA in the order of $15,000 for costs associated with the Hurricane Sandy. Some costs are covered, some aren't, but I think department heads did a good job summarizing those. And if you're watching live, you still have about 45 minutes to get to the polls for the town and state election. Next Selectmen's meeting, we have hearings for the acceptance of Aspen Hollow as a town way and alterations to Orchard Street on Route 44 prior to town meeting. Both of those will be on town meeting warrants. And I guess I should say the reorganization of the board, which always occurs after the town election. And lastly, Sursage monthly meeting Wednesday, May 8th at 9 a.m. We're awarding contracts for copy paper, office supplies, and DPW supplies.
Anyone have any questions for Randy? You're good, Okay. Selectmen's report? Nothing, nothing, nothing. Randy, do you want to see if Bob is still here? He was going to... Yes, please. They were going to come in for just a minute. You know what, why don't I just do a couple of pieces of correspondence while I'm waiting for them to come in? A letter from our treasurer collector, Linda, who says that her appointed position ends on May 1st. She's previously stated that she would finish the week because the real estate taxes are due May 1st. She will retire on May 3rd. I am respectfully requesting approval that my name be on all of the bank accounts and payroll system as an authorized signer of the town until such time that all accounts are changed to the name of the new treasurer and tax collector.
Motion to approve that request.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Okay. We have with us this evening the gentleman from B&S Consulting. As you well know, we have been discussing an agreement with the slots parlor that we hope will be coming to Raynham, and I've just asked Bob if he would please give us an update as to where we stand and where we're going.
Just in the last week, since we had our presentation here before the assembled townsfolk, we've been making further inquiries and in various states, particularly Rhode Island, on their current revenue from gaming operations within their state. David today talked to the people in Newport and so forth. Yesterday, we met with the regional planning folks down in Taunton, and we had a really good meeting, and we were given a scope of their services with the Gaming Commission. They'll be working with surrounding communities who are potentially also impacted by the various applicants for gaming licenses within the state, and also with the applicants for the host communities. Actually, today, they had scheduled a meeting for the team from Plainville for the Plain Ridge slot parlor application, and that's a four-party the scoping operation where the State Gaming Commission attends, the regional planning staff attend, with consultants for the applicant, and also for the affected host town. And they recommend that we have such a meeting as soon as possible. Speaking with Mr. Ziemba today, the ombudsman for the State Gaming Commission, they're just awaiting a date from the town to set up such a four-party scoping agreement. They will do it as soon as next week.
Okay.
I'd recommend, excuse me.
That's all right.
I'd recommend that the select people here, select persons, vote to authorize a date and communicate that through Mr. Buckner to the State Gaming Commission so we can set up a date, and we'd be happy to attend and participate with whoever you elect to send down to that meeting, but that's something that should happen probably sooner than later, because the speed is of the essence on this proceeding to come to a resolution on the agreement and the terms.
Did they indicate whether daytime or evening makes a difference for them?
You're talking about state bureaucrats. You're talking daytime.
So they want to meet during the day.
Right.
They want to meet during the day. Okay.
We'll have Randy get in touch with John.
Thank you. But within a week or so, we'll have more information and another updating memorandum for you.
Okay.
Okay? We'd like to wait till we have this meeting behind us. I've had discussion with Niche Engineering today. They are busily working on the site plans, so that activity will be ongoing, and the plan will be getting better and better as time goes on.
Excellent, excellent. Does anyone have any questions for Bob? Good. So when you have everything, we'll get another memorandum from you, and then
Yep.
set up probably, by the time we're through with it, another public forum to get the information out to the people.
Our scope of services schedules the next public forum where we release our findings
Yes.
on May the 17th. May be more practicable for us to put that off a week at the board's discretion. So we'd like to communicate through Randy about a date. Right now, it's scheduled
Yeah.
for the 17th.
Okay.
We may need a little bit more time.
Well, it all
couple
depends
days.
on two and how fast we get this moving with the other.
Good.
But thank you both very much. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome. This is an interesting project for us.
Yes, it is.
Lots of moving pieces.
Well, it's an interesting project for us, too.
Yeah, it's an important project, there's no doubt.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions we can answer? No? Okay, good. Thank you very
Nope.
much.
Thank you for coming in. Did he cover it all right?
I think so.
Okay. I'll continue with our correspondence. Actually, one is from Judith Nitch Engineering, because they are working on the slot parlor engineering. They will not be working for the town of Raynham, because they were our engineers for most of our projects, so they're allowed to do that. The sewer department, the members of the Raynham Sewer Employees Union are requesting to set up a date and time in which we could meet in order to start negotiations and update the sewer union contract. You doing the sewer contract? So whenever
We'll
you
get in touch with them.
all right. And the only other piece that I have here is that the House passed the fiscal year 2014 state budget, and both measures are headed up to the Senate. Hopefully, everything will get approved and we will get some money. Oh, we're starting with the tag days. The dates are available on this: July 5th, 24th, 25th, 26th, and August 2nd. And the name of the person is Anne Fernald from the, what is the name of that? Randy, I can't read your writing.
It's not my writing, but.
Oh, it's not your writing? It
And I
looked
can't
like your
pronounce-
little hen scratching there,
and
buddy.
I can't read it either. Alagille Syndrome Alliance.
That's what it is. Alagille Syndrome Alliance.
Is that the only one?
No, it is not. Wheels and Heels, Tuesday, July 2nd, and Wednesday, July 3rd. That's a request for a tag day. And it's a Wheels and Heels Disability Sports Group. Okay, Melissa Spencer, tagging for the cheerleaders, and that is July 11th, 12th, 25th, and 26th. All these dates are correct, for Randy anyway. This is now Nothing But the Truth Ministry from East Taunton. The first 3 weeks of May, weekdays are okay. If weekends are not, May 27th and 31st. So Randy has circled the 27th and 31st, and those are the dates that are available for that.
Motion to approve.
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Press time. Mark, do you have anything?
Warrant passed for the town meeting?
Yes.
I didn't know maybe the copy of that was passed.
Okay.
That was passed tonight, right? It was,
Yeah, this one.
Yes.
Earlier than today.
Yes. Yep, that's it. Do we have any emergency business?
None.
No? Any citizens want to say anything? Please.
I'm Dorman Fisher, and I live at 426 Hill Street. I believe Randy has received several letters from me, and he's probably tired as well. But it's in regards to my property, or the area in front of my house. Many trees came down around my property. It almost seemed like there was a tornado just around my house. So I have quite a few out front. I had gone down to the highway department to ask them about the job that they had done, because there's a lot of debris and a huge tree that they came and cut in half, but just left sitting. So it's an eyesore in front of my house, and I talked to Roger at the highway department to ask him about him, and he was very condescending and not very helpful, which didn't help me at all. What I was looking for was just some help in regards to this, because they did leave such a mess. And he said they didn't have the resources to deal with it, but to me, if they had the resources to come and cut it in half and take away part of it, I would assume they had the resources to come back and finish the job. So it's in front of my house, and I have to look at it every day, and it is a mess. I also have a huge amount of trees in the back of my house. Something must have occurred in this area because it's a mess. So I have 5 or 6 I have to deal with anyway. But to me, it's half a job that they had done, and it is a mess. And I shouldn't, as a citizen of Raynham, look at this every day. I think they should complete their job, and it is a mess. So I did send many letters. And the only person that came to talk to me was from the Conservation Department, was Bill Smith. So he came by and he agreed with me, saying that it was a mess and he should at least come and finish the job. But other than that, I haven't really heard from anyone. So I really would like some help with that, or some feedback, because I shouldn't have to deal with this and look at it. I'll do my part with my trees, but the rest, I think, is just a mess they left.
Can I just ask you whose trees they were that fell?
Well, that's the problem too, is because there's a river that runs through the property. I don't know whose is whose, and you could say whether it's my tree or not.
Well, I meant, is a tree on your property, or is it on?
I don't know. That's why I think it was cut in half, because it was going, the concern was it not clogging up the river.
I see, I see.
But there's also the thing about not flooding, so you shouldn't leave debris on the sides of the river, I was told. Because there was an easement done as well, so there's confusion about the easement too.
Right, right.
So we kind of went around in circles about whose responsibility is whose, and it was a little confusing.
Okay.
Yeah, I was confused at that too. But I still believe, even if it was my tree, you don't come in and cut half of it and leave it. You obviously have the resources to finish the job. So that was my concern.
Well, I thank you very much for coming in and
Okay,
giving us your
thanks for
concern on
listening.
that, and we
Maybe
certainly
I
will.
won't send any more letters, I don't know. I just might like to correspond with Randy.
Well, everybody
I
likes to
did send,
correspond with Randy.
he has some pictures as well. I don't know if you could look at them. You did show them. Okay,
Yeah.
well, thank you. Thanks for
Okay.
your time.
Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much. Anything else? Any gentlemen in the back? Nothing? Nothing?
Motion to adjourn, sign the bills.
Second the motion.
All in favor? Aye. Thank you all for coming.